What is going on, my beautiful LARPers and LARPettes? Today we're going to go over the brand new Sig P365 Fuse. We're going to go over basically what sets this apart from all the other Sig P365s. But before I get into all that, what is my relationship with Sig Sauer? They do send me out firearms for review, and they did send this one out to me before the release date. Today's the release date, but I got it maybe about 3 weeks ago or something like that. So let's get right into it, guys. So starting at the top here, you get a green fiber optic front sight and a blacked out rear sight. And on top of this slide, I have the Sig Romeo X, which is an enclosed red dot here. And it sits really low to give you a good co-witness with those sights there. The barrel and slide are longer than the normal Sig XL, right? So this is a Sig XL here, and you can see that it is longer, and that's basically going to be the biggest difference that you're going to see between jumping from an XL or an X macro like this one here. You're just going to have a longer slide and barrel. Now, the overall length of this one here, I believe, is around 7.3. Hopefully I got that right. And the barrel length is a 4.3 inch barrel. This is chambered in 9mm, and you do also get a full length guide rod. And if I can show you basically where the X macro and XL end. So this is an XL, but with an X macro grip. And you can see it's flush at the end there, right? Just like this X macro comp right here. And if I were to pull this slide back to that flush fitting there, you can see right there that that's pretty much what you're getting extra out of the slide barrel and guide rod assembly from this Fuse here. A lot of people will say that that inch basically is pretty damn adequate enough. Some people might say it's a little bit too much, if you ask me. And with the longer length, you're also getting a really cool milled slide here. And there's a lot going on in this slide. At the front, you do get a tapered, basically muzzle end here. It kind of just comes in and then comes out into the serrations. That is going to aid you in the whole holstering and getting wear on the front of your slides. Usually slides that are a little bit thicker up front do get a lot of holster wear. That is a very nice touch from Sig. You do get very aggressive serrations there. Not aggressive where they're gonna like cut up my hands, but they just essentially made the serrations on this a hell of a lot deeper. You can see it's casting like shadows off of there, but a lot deeper than the stock serrations on this, even deeper than the, this is a Terran tactical slide on this one here, but it's essentially just an XL slide that I got milled out, and the serrations are a lot deeper on this guy here, which I think is very nice because I usually rack from the front there. Some people don't really rack that way, but they do press check their firearm, and that will not slide on you. Same with the rear here. You do get very aggressive serrations, but I do want to point out one thing towards the end of the slide. It is a little bit flared out at the end here. I don't know if I can get you a very detailed shot of this, but it is a little bit more flared out there. So if you are going to rack that from the rear here, you can. It does give you a little bit more extra grip at the end of that whenever you need to rack it. Now moving on down, you do get the same exact grip module as the X macro. Basically only one thing is different on here, but let's go over the similarities. You get the same 1913 rail up front. I do have the Sig Foxtrot light up here, and that looks pretty good. I like to have it a little bit more flush with the slide. This slide is just a tad bit too long for this light here, but hey, it is what it is. It's a pretty bright light. Hopefully I don't blind you here. Moving on to the controls, you do have your slide release is exactly the same. Your takedown lever is exactly the same. Then you have your magazine release, which is exactly the same. And the biggest difference here is going to be just the laser engraving grip that they put onto that here. I believe they call this their LXG, and it just makes it feel more aggressive when you're grabbing that. Now, you do get 2 extra back straps in the box, but unfortunately, looking at these back straps here, they did not laser engrave these back straps to match this laser engraving here, which is unfortunate because if you do have bigger hands than me or smaller hands, this is the medium here, so the small and large are not engraved. So I don't know if that's just mine that they didn't do, but just in case you do buy one of these and you don't see them engraved, you're not going to have a matching back strap on that. Now moving on to the trigger and basically the whole FCU, it is exactly the same as the X Macro with their flat face design. The only difference is that this one is nickel coated. I do like the nickel coating look better than the black gray. Yeah, it's black here. I'm kind of colorblind, I guess. It also comes with a metal magwell that makes it extremely easy to reload here. I did not have any issues with that whatsoever, and I do like this magwell a lot just because it's a super slim profile still. It basically just has a little bit of a flare there, but makes it super easy to reload compared to a stock Sig. Oh, shoot, I completely messed that one up. I was trying to get a good reload actually on that one, but yeah, it's faster. It's just way faster to reload with this metal magwell here. Also, I forgot to mention that you get two 21 round magazines and a 17 round magazine in the box. And when this video is released, they should be coming around 7:30 or something like that. But they do not come with the light or the optic. So in the box, you're going to get the firearm, two 21 round magazines, and a 17 round mag, and the two back straps. And that's pretty much all you're getting in the box. I'm seeing Sig as like the Apple in the gun community, right? So Apple, when they first came out, they just had a touchscreen, basically normal handheld phone, right? Then they wanted to go smaller, then skinnier, then smaller and smaller, and then at some point it got so small that they're like, hey, let's make a larger version and call it the XL, which was pretty much the same exact size as the first iPhone that came out. And then they made it into like the Plus or the Pro. And I'm seeing Sig is doing kind of the same thing. They went with the 365, which is the tiny little pocket gun. Then they went with the XL, which was this one here without the X Macro grip. Then they went with the X Macro. Then they went to this guy. So basically Sig is now at the compact gun length of their 365 line. So the original 365 was still a, I guess I would consider it a pocket gun since it's so small. And then they went with the XL, which was this one without the grip, right? And that was their subcompact version. Then they went with the X Macro, which was still probably considered a subcompact version. And to now, this length of slide is, I would consider it in the compact category. We have a Glock 19, and if you're looking at them there, it's actually a little bit longer than the Glock 19, but looking at it, guys, it's yeah, a compact gun, I would say. And bringing out the Glock 48, I'm guessing this is probably what's been requested from Sig to even bring this to getting the slide longer on the 365. The Glock 48 here is essentially the same exact length as the 365 Fuse here. So I'm guessing this is kind of their answer to people that have the 48 and saying, hey, I don't want a 48, or hey, I have a 48 and I would like to have something that's similar to it, is now the Fuse. If you'd like to see a versus video for that 48 there, I think that would make a good video to compare two guns in the same ish category. Now, I'm always amazed when firearms companies just keep improving their platform, no matter how many different iterations they have of it. I would have never thought that I can essentially get a Glock 19 and make it thinner and shoot more rounds, which would be the 48 here, but still Sig is doing their own version, which is this fuse here, and they even have more rounds on this one than this one here with the flush fit. I believe this one's around 15 still. This is the shield mags here. Yeah, this is 15, and on the flush fit of the 365 fuse, you're getting 17 rounds. So it's really, really cool that now these guns that started off as micro guns are now basically, I think, going to phase out the compact line of a lot of guns, because with the 48, to me, I don't really see a reason to get a Glock 19 when the 48 is out there, because you have the same capacity and a slimmer profile for carry, and that's what a lot of people are doing with the Glock 19. When they originally had it, they were using it as a carry gun, but then you have to deal with the chunkiness on it, right? So same thing with this guy here. They are making a extremely slim-lined compact gun, and the reason I like longer slides on guns and longer barrels is because of that felt recoil. I even took out my Terran Tactical Sig here, and I kind of did a little comparison here, and I didn't even have a light on this one here, and I was using this light here to drive down the gun as kind of like a gas pedal of sorts. So this one was still pretty flat, but I can feel that snappiness hitting my thumb every time that it would recoil into that light. Even this one without a light on there, it was extremely manageable. I can just feel that slide just a little bit smoother and less snappy than the XL. And a lot of you will probably say, well, it's literally that much longer, but just that much longer with that guide rod being a little bit longer and that little bit of weight on the barrel and the slide does help out when it comes to recoil, especially if you slap a light on there, and especially if you can use that to drive the gun forward. But overall, if you were looking for a Sig X macro with a longer slide and a cooler look to it, this is your answer right here. And like I said, this should be released by the time I release this video. And I just want to say thank you again to Sig for sending this out to me for review, and also to Supervel for sponsoring the video to shoot those sweet rounds to. I got around 800-ish rounds to this, no hiccups whatsoever, but even then I didn't have any issues with my X macro comp here, or X macro, or not X macro, the XL here with X macro grip. Super modular guns, guys. Essentially, this slide you can put on this gun. They're like Legos for adults. But that pretty much does it for the Sig P365 Fuse. Do you think it answered a lot of questions that you guys had? Was it really not necessary to get a longer slide? Or is this a pretty good offering, you think, from Sig, that they are going the essentially compact route now? Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you all. Love you all. Catch you in the next one.